spring of 2014, right after her 11th birthday, and that was the first year of Mosaic. And I remember meeting, one of the first times meeting you guys, Eric, you told me, I just wish I could take off a year of work and just do whatever Alona wants to do, and just like follow her around. And I remember thinking, wow, that's really cool. And I was like thinking about that this morning and realized that part of my job for so many years has actually been to do that. And it's been really amazing. So anyway, Alona wrote a essay that she would like to share. And it's just, yeah. Anyway, it's been an honor and a privilege to have been a part of your life for so long. And I'm really, really excited for you today. It's all about you.
I'm so excited to be the first official high school graduate of ALC Mosaic. 7 years ago, I became the 16th student of a tiny school that called a trailer behind a church its home. Today, I'm a high school graduate with a community of over 130 students, parents, facilitators, friends, and family supporting me in my journey after high school. I'm currently working in my dream career field as an emergency veterinary assistant, and I look forward to attending Warren Wilson College starting this fall. My non-traditional education allowed me to take advantage of opportunities in my field of interest from an early age. I was unschooled as a young child, which allowed me the freedom to make my own decisions about my life and education. My sister and I spent many evenings running around the neighborhood on chicken herding expeditions, gathering our small free-ranging flock home before sunset. Our commune of gerbils combined 2 litters into one so that the mothers could take turns eating in peace. In addition to our pets, my family also fostered puppies and kittens that were too young for a sheltered environment. Unschooling gave me the freedom to care for and learn about many different kinds of animals. The week before I turned 11, I joined ALC Mosaic. I remember visiting for 2 days and immediately falling in love. My second day, I attended Writer's Workshop, a weekly time to write and share short stories with other students. I decorated my writing folder, stored my newest short story in it, and placed the folder on the shelf with all of the others. A facilitator asked me if I wanted to take it home, just in case I didn't enroll. I responded that there was no need because I'd be back on Monday just like all the other students, and I left it on the shelf just to demonstrate how sure I was. The next school day, I was back at ALC Mosaic as the 16th student and the oldest full-time student. Over the next 5 years, I attended ALC in a trailer behind a church, the basement of another church, and finally in the schoolhouse on its own campus. I saw countless facilitators and students, many of them now lifelong friends, come and go from the community. One key aspect of the ALC experience is that learning is always being shared between community members. When I first joined, I was in love with the fantasy series Warrior Cats. I participated in hours of role-play games, and my friend and I crawled around on our hands and knees, obnoxiously meowed, and created characters with complicated backstories and motives and are made of plans. These games turned into a larger interest in storytelling and writing, and I wrote thousands of words about my own warrior cats, talking mice, dystopian futures. During Writer's Workshop, I often exchanged my writing for someone else's, commented on and edited their work, and then received my own writing with comments and edits back. Writing gave way to science, and my first obsession on Khan Academy was the human heart. The rest of the ALC population soon found anatomically accurate human hearts drawn on every whiteboard around the school. My whiteboard hearts were so numerous because I could always find a new person willing to listen to me spout information about the circulatory system along with a visual depiction. Once I learned all that I could about the heart, I moved on to the genetics curriculum. I was absolutely fascinated by Punnett squares and heredity. I scheduled Punnett square classes, and by the end, kids would be solving them on their own. I moved on to choreographing and participating in dance routines and acro-yoga performances, and I spent my days with other students learning how our balance and teamwork could lift someone far higher into the air than any of the adults probably like to see. Once the dance team felt like our performances were ready for viewing, we would schedule a big performance for the end of the day, of the school day, and invite parents. The whole school would clean up 15 minutes early so that 6 of us could share our hard work with our community. I found that whenever an ALC member learns something new or develops a new interest, many others learn from that member, and sometimes new passions are formed. As an ALC Mosaic student, I continued to foster animals, and on a few occasions brought them to school with me because they were too young to be left home for the school day. Because ALC always supported me in my endeavors and welcomed my tiny service projects with open arms, I was able to continue working with animals regardless of school schedule. As a young teen, I developed an interest in wild animals and volunteered with the local wildlife center. A couple of times a week, I would take shifts answering the injured wildlife hotline from the office at school. Thanks to the confidence I developed in this unofficial wildlife expert role, I extended my reach into other communities. I became the snake relocator in my neighborhood. Today, I still identify, relocate, and educate the neighbors about the snakes spotted in the neighborhood. At the age of 16, I sent myself away to boarding school. The now defunct Conserve School was a semester-long experience in Wisconsin. When we weren't in school, there were always optional workshops and activities to participate in, but there was also an immense outdoor sanctuary that we had full access to. I remember spending Saturday nights taking night photography, sharing a tripod with 2 or 3 friends so that we could all get a shot of the aurora borealis. Whatever we were doing, it was largely our choice. Some of my friends who grew up in public school struggled at first with this, but I thrived instantly because I had spent my life freely making my own decisions already. Once my semester in Wisconsin came to an end, I returned home to start community college classes. At 16 years old, I was years and sometimes decades younger than my fellow classmates. Yet I felt I belonged in my classes. I grew up in the ALC community being treated as an equal to adults, and I came to expect that same treatment in other spaces. I made some acquaintances that I sat with or worked on projects with, and they had no idea that I was still in high school until it came up in conversation. To them, I was simply another classmate, and to the professors, I was simply another student. I have now earned more than 2/3 of an associate's degree. After years of volunteering with animals, I have recently been able to start working in the veterinary profession. I have woken up cesarean section puppies, witnessed and assisted in complicated emergency surgeries, and performed CPR on patients. I am grateful that my non-traditional education has allowed me to work so hard toward my goals. Now that my high school graduation is happening right now, I am looking forward to attending Warren Wilson College this fall. I'm excited to work with the campus farm animals and major in conservation biology. Howard Thurman, author and civil rights leader, famously said, "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive." Through my self-directed education, I figured out what makes me come alive. I am grateful for every opportunity and for the freedom provided by my parents and ALC Mosaic. And so, as a valedictorian of my